obviously it's a big game. They were excellent. Can't get away from it. Arsenal in the first leg. Real Madrid were terrible. They can't play that bad again. Surely not. There is something about Real Madrid. We know that. We've seen it all before. Watching tonight's games, Dortmund, they tried to come back, made it a bit closer, gave themselves a bit too much, and 4-0 down. Aston Villa tonight, they were 3-1 down, and then it was all, 5 goals almost away from it.
Yeah.
Like from winning.
Yeah.
And they managed to really, close
have
to
have
a go.
Yeah.
So it's not over this side.
No, it's not over. It should be, but that's not how football works. And like I said, what this will do, and Arsenal fans sort of watch that, and there's a couple of things that come from that. Well, if they do get past Madrid tomorrow night, now look at that PSG's team, respecting and knowing what they've got because they're a good team. But also, if Villa give them a bloody nose tonight, Villa had a right go and they rocked and they were a mess. And Arsenal will take some heart from that because that will be, whatever happens tomorrow night, I expect Arsenal to go through. I can't see it in a world in which they won't score. I don't think Real Madrid are good enough defensively. They might score. They might get a couple. I don't see them getting 3. But, a refereeing decision, a red card, a bad mistake, football can change very, very quickly. If it's like anything like tonight's games, then we're in for a treat.
Yeah. All right, well, you can have your say on that, Arsenal fans. Give us a call. Let's go to Kane, though. He's a Villa fan. He's at the game. Right, Kane?
All right, Kane.
Hey, lads, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
It's kind of mixed emotions. Like, obviously, I'm really proud of the team, but I feel like some of the saves that Donnarumma pulled off, you can't help but feel a little bit deflated. And obviously, as ex-players, I just want to ask a question. If you're John McGinn or Unai Emery, massive games against Newcastle and Man City in the league coming up, semi-final against Crystal Palace, how are you picking this team up? Because they seem so defeated after the game, but how are you picking them up to say, you know what, lads, good performance, let's get back on track?
Well, the first thing I would turn around to him and say in the dressing room, do you want this night again?
Yeah,
because if you want this night again, we've got to turn up on Saturday and get a result because they're still fighting for it. And
I'm not deflated.
that's where they want to be.
And then my
losing 3-1.
Kev.
Turn your radio down.
No, sorry, it's Kev. He's drunk in the front.
Drunk Kev. We all know drunk Kev.
Yeah, drunk Kev. My second point was, 2 goals and 6 substitutions in the second half. We moan a lot about the referees in the Premier League, but I think the best thing to come out of the 2020 World Cup was, the time wasting and the substitutions and the goals. It all get. 3 minutes added time for me. If that.
It's outrageous.
If it was flips on the head and Villa were winning, Villa were winning. I think it'd be 6, 7, 8 minutes added time. Not to be a conspiracy theorist, but
do you know what, Kane? You're right.
Disgrace.
And do you know what? At the end of the first half, I don't know whether you remember how much time was added on, right? But it was only a minute.
1 minute.
And there were 3 goals.
Yeah.
Now, the minimum is 30 seconds a goal. So you've got to add another minute on top there.
Yeah. I
you're
agree.
absolutely right.
It's a disgrace.
In Europe, they do not monitor the game the same way as we do in the Premier League. With the amount of subs, the goals that were scored in there, I would have thought a minimum of 5.
How many subs were in the second half? How many subs did Aston Villa make? Well, in the second half.
Well, there was 3 substitution breaks. There was 3 substitution breaks.
3 substitution breaks. There was 2 goals for Aston Villa.
And they had a substitution break as well.
Yeah, 3 minutes is disgraceful. When you think about it is. When you actually think about it, 3 minutes is disgraceful.
It's a minimum of 5.
Minimum 7.
Yeah.
Come on, how many times does the ball go out of play? If you're actually going to do it properly.
No, but if you have him 1 minute in the first half, you're not going to add that much more in the second half. That's just the way they are. I think the referees they do it, mate. Is
it referees or is it just, a bit biased to English sides?
I don't think there's anything like that, mate.
I tell you now, if Real Madrid were playing tonight, I guarantee you.
What are you saying? Tomorrow night, if they need to go Real Madrid, the referee's going to add on 11 minutes.
Tomorrow night, if Real Madrid are 2-0 up and it goes to the 90th minute, I guarantee you, regardless of if the ball stayed in play for the whole of the half, I guarantee you I see 7 minutes.
We'll see. Anyway, Kane, look, I hear you, but... you had your chances. There were chances there tonight.
Kane, listen, mate, thanks for your call. Let's go to Kevin. He's a Villa fan. Kev?
Not drunk, Kev, is it?
Hello there, how you doing?
All right, Kev.
How are you, Kev? You been at the game?
Villa.
Yeah, I've been at the game. Just on the drive back to London now.
Oh, London. It's a long old trip.
Yeah. You sound a bit down, Kev.
Yeah, I'm proud, but down. It's just difficult. I just thought I'd ring up and I think Emery did make a mistake tonight, but I think actually it's a different mistake to what you guys are saying.
Go on.
I think I think he shouldn't have taken Onana and McGinn off at the same time.
Right, go on. Tell us why.
Well, because we just lost all our energy. We'd never won the ball back again after that. They won so much in the middle of the park, and just every time we got the ball back, we broke. And then just after they came off, we just never won it again.
Yeah, I mean, he did add... I mean, Asensio, you're seconds away from being a genius, because if Asensio slides that between Donnarumma's legs, you know, you're phoning up saying what a genius of a manager.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Relying on the players to come on and do the business.
And fresh legs at that particular time. You'd got yourself back into it. There was a moment, that 15-minute period once you scored, and then there was it felt to me as if PSG had got a footing back into the game. They were starting to dominate possession. They were going back to the keeper a lot, you know, moving you guys all over around the pitch. Maybe felt he needed some fresh impetus, you know, fresh legs in there, and I can understand at that particular time. But you don't think that taking off Rashford with 15 minutes plus injury time, you think...
Yeah, but I don't know, in hindsight, obviously it wasn't the correct decision, but I mean, I was at Southampton the weekend, and bringing Watkins on completely changed the game, so...
Well, he probably had that in his head, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
He's obviously got that in his head.
I'm not saying bringing Watkins is the wrong decision. I'm saying
bring him on.
taking Rashford off for Watkins, for me. Rashford, he only had half an hour in that second half. That's what he was on the pitch for, half an hour. And he was the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, second half he was unplayable, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah,
He was
so he took him
sensational.
off after half hour.
Everything that Villa done, any good thing about Villa, Marcus Rashford had his fingerprints all over it. Whether it balls out wide, whether he be taking players on, shots from the edge of the box, crosses, everything. It was
I
all
think
action.
Rashford, listen, he's got his head down. He's working hard there. You know, he's doing well. I think if he was at Man United and that happened, his arms would have been going up in the air, going, "What's going on?"
Maybe.
But I think, you know, because he's at Aston Villa and he's respecting the manager and the club and the fans, I think it would be sat there, you know, in the dressing room going, "How's he took me off?
Yeah, I know.
How's he took me off?
Yeah.
I'm on fire. And he dragged me."
Yes, he has. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a
defensive way.
yeah, it's a bad call, but listen, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Kev, thanks for your
Safe
call.
journey, Kev.
Keep them coming in. 03 717 22 3344.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.